Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with another little video for you. This is a card that I made, a really simple card today. I made it for a bingo, Stamping Up Bingo challenge actually in monochrome. If I was sending it, I would probably colour, I will when I send it, colour the bow and the butterfly, but this was for a monochrome challenge. But it's such a simple layout card and I want to show you how it can be used for just about any occasion. So for this card, all you need is something fairly simple. You just need a card base, which is the normal card base, which is 21 centimetres by 14.8, scored at 10.5 centimetres. Or if you're working with US size cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. You also need another piece which is the same size as the front of the card, so 10 by 10.5 by 14.8 or 4.25 by 5.5 inches. You also need some scraps for stamping and for a sentiment. So the other tools I'm using, the other products, I'm using the Peaceful Greenery. If I got anything dark, I'll just hold it against my hand so hopefully you can see the pattern on it. The Peaceful Greenery embossing folder, which is beautiful. It has all these lovely green leaves around a centre panel. So it does make it really useful for making very quick and easy cards. Now, the one thing I would say about these panels, if I bring this card back in, is they are perfect for for American-sized cardstock and cards, not so much for our centimetre-based UK cards. So the actual embossing folder, you can see from this card, I've got a gap at the top and the bottom, not so much at the sides. The embossing folder actually fits the full 10.5 centimetres. So it depends if you worry about that or not. If you don't want to see those gaps top and bottom, then just cut your card base down to the inch measurements and it will work fine. I don't mind that. So the first thing to do is to get your separate sheet for the front of the card, place it in the embossing folder and go and run it through your machine. So here I am with the piece that I've embossed. Now, this I did on the whole front of the card. I do want to trim it down. You'll see I've placed it so that two corners fit the embossing folder perfectly. I've got bigger gaps this side. So I just used my trimmer to trim those bits down. Now, if you wanted to leave them, you could. If you wanted to be a bit more careful and get this right in the middle, you could, and then just use it as a straight front. But life is too short for too much of this. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the excess. It doesn't take much, as you can see, just a little thin bit. But that allows the embossing piece to be right in the centre of my embossed front cardstock. Now you've got a couple of options. I haven't folded and burnished this. Let me just do that. I can find my bone folder. Here we go. So you can either stick it flat on the front, as I've done with the first card, or you could raise it up on dimensionals. It's up to you. I personally would prefer to raise any image up on dimensionals. So I'm going to stick this on flat, just with some glue. And when you're sticking on an embossed piece of cardstock, always a good idea to use plenty of glue. You could use tape, of course. Tape is fine, just putting a strip around the whole edge. If you are using glue like me, the Tombow glue, then do use plenty because it can sink into the debossed bits on that side, obviously. And then it does make it a little bit difficult to make sure it sticks down properly. So just take your time to hold it down for a minute or two more than you would a non-embossed piece of cardstock to make sure it sticks and it sticks nice and flat. So as you can see there, I've got my gaps top and bottom, which, as I said, I don't mind. I really don't mind that on my cards. It's totally up to you. So for the centre of this card, I'm actually using this set. I think it might be retired now, but I still love it. Hearts and Hugs. It comes with dies. So I'm just going to get my memento and we'll do some stamping here. I've already chosen my badgery ones because I want this to be, it's going to be a sort of friend come Valentine's Day. I could make it actually for Valentine's Day, but we'll see. So I'm just going to stamp them. I could, if I wanted, colour those. I think probably I won't. I'm going to leave it fairly monochrome again. Not quite as monochrome as without any colour, but because I have got a little bit of colour there to use. Because I'm also going to use, I didn't get these out, I should have done, my little hearts, which you can cut out. As you can see, I've got some there just lying in the tray there. And I'm going to use the sending birthday hugs. No, I could just hug you. Sending a big hug. I'm going to use a sending a big hug because I quite like that. Just put that on there. And we're just going to, that is in the middle, yeah. So I can line it up on my little scrap. There we go. And my hearts, I am actually going to stamp in colour onto my card. I need to cut those out as well. I'll just do that in a second. Just clear the decks a little bit so I've got room to work here. So I'm going to actually use these on the front of the card here and inside the card, and I would also use them on the envelope. We'll have some up there and some down here. In fact, I might make a little frame with my hearts. Oh, no, I can't have them upside down. That's no good. Like that. And I'm just going to use them on the envelope as well. And I may or may not colour those in. I haven't decided. We'll see what it looks like. Let's close that up before I lean in it and get red ink everywhere. And obviously I can put another sentiment inside. There's nothing really in this particular set that I want to put there inside. I could put so it's there when you need it. Actually, I quite like that. Might put that one inside so it's there when you need it. I'll put that inside. There we go. So that's the inside done on the envelope. My goodness, I'm getting on well today. Never forget to decorate your envelope, folks. Really important. Okay, so let us finish with the top bit here. Let me put these stamps away before I go any further, really. Too much. There we go. Get those all away. Tidy those up, giving myself a bit more space here so I can get my machine in to die cut. These, obviously for the sheep, it was a punch. And I showed you in a previous video how to line those up properly, because that is important. But this has a die, so I can just line up my die, making sure it's well lined up, and just use a little bit of tape just to hold that down. Hold it there. Make my sandwich, making sure that my plates are overlapping so that they go through easily. Never line your plates up exactly because it does make it more difficult to send them through the machine. Let's put those back out of the way. Oh, there we go. So here is my, oh, let's get my tape off there. Put my die away. Okay, I am going to do a little bit of colouring on here, though not much. I am going to use, this is one of my skin tone ones, I think. Let's see. Keep this here because it is really useful to use as a, yeah, quite like that. So I'm just going to draw in, yeah, do you know what, we're going to have the whole badges coloured, I think. Leave the stripe. So just a nice sort of faded colour here. Now you're going to use a darker one for the shadows that there will be. These are the skin tone ones, which I do find just brilliant for doing some basic colouring, as well as for skin tones, obviously. Right, just go down here. Colour in this bit. And colour in this one. And adding a bit more colour where there's going to be some shadows. So I'm using the same pen, which you can use. I could get a darker one out, but to be honest, I don't really need to. I can just add a little bit more colour with this. It just gives the shadow bits a little bit of emphasis there. There'd be a shadow under there as well, wouldn't there? There we go. Oh, I just have a slightly darker one. Let's use this one actually, just for the noses. There we go. Okay, and I think I probably will colour in my, where's my red? Is it real red? Which one's that one? That's Poppy Parade. I've got them all out here, but I really need to, is that real red? Yeah. I need to put some labels on the edges of them so that I can see them better. So I think we'll just colour in our hearts. Oh, do you know, the light red isn't dark enough. Let's use the darker one. See, I don't really want to see an edge on this stamping, so I just want to fill it in. Stamping marker might be better. Who knows? I'm just going to fill them in on the front. I can always colour in the ones in the middle afterwards. So I just want to show you this finished card. So I'm just going to pop on these with a couple of dimensionals. And to finish off this, I am just going to cut it with these and then put a little bit of a banner on the end, just using a snip in the middle and then coming in from each corner, Carol, not from halfway down it. That's better. Let's trim a little bit off that. I'm not going in right from the corner. I keep getting a square end instead of a point. That's better. Dear me, can't cut today. And for these, I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. It's only small, so I haven't got room to put full-size dimensionals on the back. So just a couple of those. And that can go across the bottom here. There we have it. So there is my really simple card. You could use this, as I said, for any occasion. You can also add some, have I got any decent gems on the desk? No. I might have to go and get some. No, they're completely different colours. Never mind, I shall find some gems later. Perhaps just want a couple of gems just dotted around, just some clear ones. I think I've got some heart ones somewhere. I might use those just to finish it off. But that is how to make a really simple card using the beautiful Peaceful Greenery embossing folder. And whatever stamp set you want in the middle for whatever occasion that you want to do for these. As I said, it could be any occasion that you want. So I hope you enjoyed that really simple card. There's my other one back just to show you. If you want to use the lovely woolly sheep that we've got at the moment, then I hope you enjoyed that as a really simple front card to make for any occasion. Thanks for joining me today. All of the instructions are as usual on my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.